there, so. And that's no, I haven't figured stuff like that in a while.
I was looking for a notepad last night when I was here and I grabbed it. That's why.
I had just sent somebody out to your office is wanting to know what the right-of-way is. I'm not, where they're building Upper Salem Church back. He was wanting to know what the setbacks, or I guess the right-of-way is what he was talking about.
Okay.
But it appears to me like they're well off the road.
The building's in the same spot it was.
Well, Paul said something Friday night about them maybe wanting to build another building.
Well, he said something about a foundation. And I sent him your way.
Okay, well,
But I said they'd get in touch with you one way or the other.
yeah, they can leave a message and I'll have to check it out when I get back out there. So.
You in a hurry?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I started to say we run you through if you need.
No.
Lloyd's up first when he gets here.
Got some things I'll look at.
Will it be Cheryl? Floyd's in Florida.
You dug this out and put it on the desk. Are we gonna consider that office a vacancy? Is that what you're getting at?
No. It'll have to be vacant, but this is the process you use. I mean, it tells you that, you know, when you appoint through with the same political party.
Yeah, I understand that. Okay. You know, we asked him for the last couple of weeks.
Well, he's got a letter. He's got a letter. Maybe they'll bring it in to you today.
Okay. I started to say, because what I understand, we can't really do nothing until we're actually up, because then the menace wasn't legal.
Yeah, and you've got 60 days after it's vacant to do it.
Well, if we're not gonna be here, Ted, you might as well step on up. They don't need you sitting around. They pay your bills last week?
No, I don't think we did.
Well, we asked for them to, I don't know.
Well, last week, let me tell you, last week was just a little on the hectic side.
Yeah, I imagine it was. But all we can do is ask. You know how that goes.
Because Monday and Tuesday, we didn't have a line to call out on, much less.
Phone service down?
No, it just rained that much.
You can see we're up to a little over $88,000. Sandy's been getting some kind of sharp phone calls from vendors wanting some money.
All we do is ask. I think I highlighted and put on there, pay everything more than 30 days overdue, but maybe they'll make it this week or the next week.
But there wasn't, I don't think there was that much money in there.
That's what I'm saying. Well, there wasn't, it was 230 some odd thousand, wasn't it?
No. I don't believe there was, no, I don't believe so.
213,000, well, I got wrote here. Just, somebody move the calendar over.
That might have been prior to payroll.
Is it AM Sam?
Anyway.
Who's the ones calling?
Yeah,
What is it again that they provide for us?
a lot of jail supplies. John's had to order more mats. We're running out of bed space again. Have so many inmates that are going through the mats, the blankets quicker than what they normally do.
How long can we use the mat for? Is there a certain period on that?
You know, years ago, you could use a mat for a year, and now we're probably going through them over 60 days because
Just getting used so much.
they're getting used so much, or on the floor instead of on the bed. Because only got 42 beds, and we're putting 50 to 55 people in there, so that means you've got maybe 10 people on the floor, and they're moving around, it just wears them out quicker.
Do we do our own laundry or someone do that for us?
We do our own. Jail uniforms go quicker.
What's a mat run, do you know? Right.
I don't know. There may be a bill in that stack, Billy's got there with some new stuff in it.
Okay.
All the big vendors, Save-A-Lot, US Foods, Citgo, it's getting up there.
Looks like AM Sam is just, maybe what, $1,200?
Yeah.
Range.
A lot of the smaller vendors seem like they're getting hurt the worst, and the bigger ones can absorb it a little bit longer. That's all I think last week or before, we had to open up a third cell for females over there, so at one time we were running right at 20, a little over female prisoners. But we are keeping around 15 out of county.
That Save-A-Lot bill on the second page, November 13th, that's accumulation of total, I bet, isn't it?
One was 2 months together. That maybe the newest one Billy's got, there was one for 2 months.
10, 8,
Yeah.
22, I mean, there's no way, because that usually runs about 3,000.
Right.
I was thinking that's probably the total that's outstanding.
There's one on the 90-day list.
Yeah, there's one for it, but I bet they've included that, we can look at it, but, because that bill usually just runs around 3 to 3,500 each one. That's just their meals that they eat, right?
Yeah. There was one, where's it at, on the 60 days, Siegel's uniforms, $4,000. That's where we get a lot of our clothing and police supplies, and I've got 4 winter coats that I've had to order for guys. I put them off last year, but desperately need some coats, and I don't think they're gonna ship these to us until we get some money.
At 4,000, what was that, just accumulation of updated uniforms and stuff?
Over the last year. We had a problem with them earlier in the year. They used to send us paper bills, and they switched to email billing. And I've got my email blocked unless I know the email address, it won't let it go through.
Right.
They were sending me bills and I wasn't getting them. We didn't catch on to that until about July.
I understand. So you wouldn't get a paper copy, just
Right.
email.
And then we ordered taser cartridges a month or so ago. That was like $1,500. We get those from right on hand. Yesterday I told you to look for that black and white squad car because it saves some money on transmission, not getting it fixed.
Someone over there get hurt, because it looks like there's some bills from Mass Ave Memorial, Cape Radiology.
Yeah, we've had several, had a fight over there a couple weeks ago where one inmate head-butted another one, so that was a trip to the hospital and an MRI.
We get the pleasure of paying for that for them.
Yeah. tempers flare, you can't fight. We just, I mean, we don't have that many, we've been able to control them, but you get 8 men in a 4-man cell.
Yeah.
Penrod hit a deer, is that what it was? I think that's what it was.
You know, like when someone headbutts someone, like, is that something we can add on to their,
You know, if they're in jail for a crime, which is what they do there, if they commit another crime while they're in jail, they have what's called a consecutive sentencing. So if a guy's in there who's gonna look at serving 4 years for burglary, and he damages property and charge him with criminal damage to state supported property, he has to serve that 4-year sentence before he gets a chance to serve criminal damage to property. So that's, in a way, it's a deterrent. It's helped in the last couple of years when they changed that law, but you're still gonna have some fights, damage to property. I guess if they had any assets, we could turn around and sue them, but most of them don't.
You have a 95 Cadillac DeVille.
There's a drug seizure we got last year.
I didn't know you guys had a Cadillac over.
Yeah, we made a buy off a guy 2 years ago, and as part of the judgment, we were awarded his car. But under Article 36, when you get a seizure like that, we have to hold it for a year before we can sell it. It'll be next March before we can sell the car, which we plan on doing, but until then, we gotta keep it licensed and insured, in case something happens.
Why would you have to keep it licensed and insured?
In case we wanna use it, which we can use it, we just can't sell it.
for like a undercover drug buy, yeah.
You look good in a 95 Cadillac.
I got a lot of compliments from y'all going around to the schools here lately, and was it y'all was doing some drug awareness and things like that?
We partnered with the Elks Lodge and the trailer that they've got, and then Abby has got 3 or 4 people she's taking around the little teddy bears to the kindergarten, first grades. The Elks put on a real good display of that trailer. They were really good.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people compliment, they thought that was pretty interesting. Is that something we've done in the past, or is that something that?
This is the first year we've partnered with them. I think they may have been out here last year, but the way it went this year, it's gonna be something we'll do every year. Actually, they started the 2nd through the 7th or 8th grade.
My next door neighbor, Steve Johnson, I think is helping with it.
He took that over this year and did a really good job.
He said he felt like it's pretty good success. Billy, you got anything else?
No, I'm just going through these bills right here. You got everything under control over, that's all that matters. Hope we can pay some bills, that's all I can say.
Hope.
It's over our head. All we can do is request. Maybe Floyd will come back from Florida with a bucket of money, you reckon?
Yeah, I think he and Billy are down there checking their investment.
I didn't say that, Michelle.
That's all I got.
All right, thanks, Sheriff.
Thank you, Ted.
You're up, Lori.
Okay.
Laura, you keeping them all squared away?
I guess so.
Good.
Lori, do you have, if I call down to Jim Walters, will they get me in touch with Ken Kovac? Okay.
Yeah.
I got Ken's cell phone number if you want to call him.
I did that one time on his personal cell phone that Lori supplied to me, and he didn't seem to appreciate it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I won't give it to you.
So I figured I'd go through the channels.
Did he say like, how'd you get this number?
That's exactly what he said.
He should have said I have
You on his
connection.
list.
You say, I'm the county clerk, I have everyone's number.
Exactly.
You don't have mine, but I have yours, Ken. How do you like that?
Is Noah gonna play basketball?
Yeah, they're playing, you know, junior high starts, a lot sooner than high school. I think high school just had tryouts. But, yeah, they're probably played 6 or 7 games or more.
They don't
They
know
haven't
how.
lost yet, so.
Somebody needs to do something about
Is
this door.
Tyson still coaching?
That chair feels like you're sitting on the ground, though.
Yeah, a
I
little
know,
bit.
That is kind
I
of.
What'd you do, swap
It
it
beats
out?
anything
Yeah,
we
so
got
I
going
sat
on in
down
our
and I felt
office.
like I was sitting on the ground, so that's what I felt. But no, so far the season's been successful.
Well, good.
So, did Kyler try out for the high school?
Yep,
Yeah.
he made it. I think he's gonna be starting.
Awesome.
So it's gonna be like Hayes, Jay, Tanner, Brady, and him.
Great.
So,
That's good. That is exciting.
yeah, they practice every single time.
How's it working out with just you two? Pretty good so far.
Yeah.
It was a good article in the Metropolis Planet on Glenn. You get to read it.
Yes. I did. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Thank you, Lord.
You got the financial report?
I got the financial
All right, you're up.
report. I just have one. Floyd wanted me to go ahead and turn these in.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Make that official. And while I have everybody here, new and old, I'm not sure if the Democrat Party has made you aware that I am interested in the appointment for Floyd's position. And I'm not sure that you do have to go with the recommendation of the Democrat Party as long as the person is a Democrat. And since I've been there for 13 years, I feel like I could, you know, step in and do his job probably better than anybody else. So I'd like y'all to take that into consideration.
We will.
And Cheryl said that the budget was $20,723.53. The election judges will have to be paid out of that amount. And she checked with the state, and the state still owes us for income tax only for August, September, and October, and the amount's $142,794. I think she's got somewhere she goes, and she can just check that online. So she didn't, you know, directly talk to someone who, you know, could tell her when to expect
You said that was for August, September, and October.
Mm-hmm. And I will leave that with you.
And what was our balance right now?
$20,723.53.
That's after payroll?
Yeah, but before election day. And
Does that include what Mr. Vasquez gave us or not?
that I'm not sure. I would have to ask you on. I bet that it is.
Okay.
Thank you.
Can I go make some copies again?
Yeah, make me a copy, make 3 or 4 copies.
I know, but that the other piece of paper too.
Oh, that, yeah. Get copies of that too, please.
How are you, Ms. Vogt?
I'm all right. What do we got, 600 more votes?
That's okay, we don't mind us. That's not why I'm here, Bubba. You're worried about that.
Here, I want it that way, and I'm glad he wanted it that way.
It's a steep bank.
Oh, it was way too dangerous. Down hands and knees to get it down.
Because when there was ice on that road, it made you think, you know.
Yeah, Arkansas, typically on the low volume road like that, like I was up to on shortcuts. I won't be able to mow it, and I can't mow that much. And then talked to Paul, he says, am I gonna be able to mow that? And I said, well, if I get a tree on, I hope both of
That's
them
his
do.
main objection, I think,
Yes.
being able to mow it.
Well, he worked, talking to him, understand, he worked and cleaned the bank off when it was grown up and tried to keep it that way, and he just couldn't. It was too steep. He couldn't do it.
And, you know, we don't get any help from them, you know.
No.
When the ice knocked all their trees down on our fence, Paul, and Steve, oh, they spent hours down there cleaning that up because the railroad couldn't do anything.
Yeah. I had talked to people before, but it's gotten the last 20 years or more, they went to
You can't even get a hold of them.
I know. I'll get a number, and I don't talk to them that often, and the next time I try to use it, it's no good anymore. On this project, we had an electrical line that was in the way. I got a hold of the number, and I called the guy. They were supposed to locate the line. A week later, he had it not located, and I called him. It was somebody else in Rumble. He said, Dory Street. And I talked to a third man just last week. That was supposed to do the same job. So, they switch people regularly.
You in a hurry, are you, Larry? Wait till John gets back, take minutes. How's the bridge going? Excuse me, ma'am.
I'm Doris Fogue. I just have a statement to make, and I don't want to interfere. You just tell me when you want to hear it.
Okay, go ahead, you want to.
Okay. I have friends on Cedar Lane, okay? But I believe right's right and wrong's wrong. Now, we've spent almost $7,000, who Larry can attest to get the road oiled and chipped from the corner of the Coon Club Cemetery all the way to Preserve. I think if people want to get their road done, they need to pay it. Pay Larry to do it. That's what we did, and ours is a public road. Our own vehicles have very little traffic on that road. It's a public road, and it's used by the hunters, and that's fine. It's a preserve. And like I said, I don't want to upset people in Cedar Lane, but you know, there's a lot of roads out there that you're going to have to do if you do that one because, well, the rule is the rule. If it's not ready for the county to adopt, I just thought I need to let you know how I felt about it. Now, whether that's what you want to hear, I don't know. But that's a concern I have, that we have paid that much money. And I can bring 100 people in here that have done the same thing. The county needs money. You know, I've written a check to law enforcement. That's fine. We need to help the county. But I don't think the county needs to do a few things for a few people. So.
I agree with you 100% on that, ma'am. In the mid-'80s, I lived up on Holman Lake. We had 1 mile of gravel road going back to 60 homes. And I got with Mr. Glasgow back then, and we paid to have 1 mile of public road oiled and chipped. Same thing you're talking about. Nobody come and done it for us, but we bought the property knowing it was gravel when we bought it, you know. And then we just can't turn around and say, well, we got 60 nice homes back here and a gravel road going to it, but we got together, we funded it, and we paid for it ourselves, just like you're saying. It's gonna be interesting to find out how last night's meeting turned out. But it was just a meeting, and they wanted to know the specifics of what they can do and not do. I don't think anybody agreed to do anything at this time, but it's all just question and answer at this point. But I'm glad you came in and made your point.
Well, I think this came up back when I was commissioner. I think the same thing came up, you know, they said they want their road done, and, you know, Larry said then, well, you didn't do it to specs. You know, it's not wide enough, the culverts, nothing is set up to specs. And I appreciate their problem, but when you leave our house and you go to North Avenue, that road isn't even white shaggy, it's still red gravel, a lot of it. So after we spent almost $7,000 from that corner to the preserve, and we still got red gravel, and they want, I don't know, I'm sorry, I had to come in about that. But I hope I'm not upsetting anybody, I didn't come here to do that. I just feel there's a lot of people out there that are gonna feel the same way that I do, that they have paid. And if Larry doesn't have money to do it from our house now to North Avenue, I understand. If I ever win the lottery, I'll do that one and maybe some others too. But right now, I probably won't. So I won't bother you anymore.
I'm glad to meet you. Thank you for coming
Thank you,
in.
Gerald.
Thanks, Tom.
Keep hauling dirt, okay? How are you doing? Thank you. Well, and I'll shake your hand too, Michelle. Good to see you.
Come back anytime, Doris.
Pardon?
Come back anytime.
I will. I appreciate your welcoming me. Thank you.
Can I say? Justin, have you talked to Jess about the sign putting up in one thing?
Well, yes, I did. I didn't talk to the person with Jess, I talked to the city, the gentleman doing the signs.
Sean,
And the material, he says, is too small. I don't know how that's possible, because they said this is what I ordered in the past, the same signage. So, in the past, we've ordered the same signs and the same material.
He said 8-inch signs or whatever they wanted.
Yeah. But now they're saying that it's too small to fit through the machine.
It's the same machine, isn't it?
Yeah, so I'd like to send it back and get a different size vinyl.
get with Sean, find out exactly what size, because he's questioned me the other day too, and I said, well, I'd tell you today, and
Yeah, I'm aware of it, it's just, I just don't understand how it could be different. You know, when I call them.
he explained to me it was too small for the height. He's wanting to do with 8-inch letters. Wouldn't that not even an 8-inch roll, or was it 8-inch roll?
When I called to place the order, you ordered the same material and signage that we had ordered in the past. I just reordered it. So why it worked in the past and it doesn't work now, I'm not sure.
Actually, it's probably 6-inch,
So, I don't know.
because we hadn't ordered any in a long, long time, and
About a
it's probably
year.
6 inches since the law changed and with the 8-inch, it might be, well, it ain't a big deal, just send it back and get some more.
So we'll just have to,
And Sean is doing all of the signs.
right. He just acts like the mayor knows which signs he did for us, or how much time.
He was a little upset for Jess getting the money for it and him doing the work. I said, weren't you getting paid by the city? And he said, well, yeah. I said, well, you know, you're both getting paid, that's the main thing. Although our agreement was $20 a sign, he'd make them and put them up, now he's just putting them up, so that's something y'all might wanna look at. Larry, John might not come back. Jason, take notes if you wanna go ahead and start. Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I don't have a contractor working today, it rained us out.
You mean they ain't got the job on hold while you're sitting here?
Well, no, they don't. There's nobody out there this morning, it's a little wet.
I called him last night. He said they're going hunting Friday, did you know?
Huh?
They're going deer hunting Friday, so they won't be working.
Oh, well, the last word I heard is they were planning on setting deck Thursday. You asked how the bridge was going. I think real well. Planning on setting the deck Thursday. Now, after that, it's a temperature issue because you've got to grout that deck and you've got to have favorable temperatures. There are other ways to do it, but over a railroad, I don't know how you can do that. You grout it, put insulation on top and hang tarps under and put heat under there, but with it being over the railroad, I don't think you can, they're gonna allow us to shut the railroad down for 3 days to do that, so I don't know. We're gonna have to get some temperature, so it may set the deck and it may sit there for a long time until we get.
What is the temperature supposed to be?
For the structure's supposed to be 45,
I think they're called well.
and they're not talking that warm. They're talking some nice temperature, but not 45. So I'd have to look on the grouting, what it is. For structure concrete, it was 45 degrees.
I told him I thought maybe, man, would work Thursday, hopefully. Yeah, I'm gonna put a liner in that one truck. I've got one at the house first. He said, now, I guess the man, I don't know if he's going to happen or not, but I think it's Brandon in that bunch.
Probably. Oh, yes.
So, they'll work Friday. So they never did.
They may work on the bridge deck, but they probably, yeah.
Yeah, it won't be operators.
There won't be any dirt people there, is what he's saying then.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're big deer hunters, I know that. I don't know that any of his other crew that are, but Brandon and Randy and those boys are big deer hunters.
What do they call them? Rain again Friday, are they? Or-
I
saw that.
gonna check the forecast today, see what the long range forecast is, so I can kind of get an idea of what can be done.
I was trying to tell you, it's not through the new bottom history here on New Cut, that, like you're heading south, and make that big sweeping 90. Down through there where the tree, there's a big tree in the road. I mean, it's got the whole road blocked. I mean, you can get around it, but.
This is original. This here too, in case you need it. We got copies, we got copies.
All right, I got one over there too.
Okay. Would you run him off for?
I was down in the bottoms yesterday, and met with County Douglas Highway
No,
Engineer.
Larry Douglas. Yeah.
Hello. Anyway, you was running the bottoms and what?
There's a tree completely across the road. You know that section that runs down there, it's got fence road real close to both sides before you get to the mounds. There was a big tree fell over, and I mean,
Yeah, and you can't get around that with the hog right
And-
there.
on the way out. And I don't know how in the world you'd ever hunt this deer, but the most impressive deer I've seen in about 10 years took off through one of those fields, and I mean, it didn't slow down until it got to the woods.
Thank you, they're going after us.
Well, I just happened to be down there yesterday, and I said, well, I'll just make note of it, and then,
Somebody probably done cut it down by now. Cut it in two.
well, I could get around it, I mean, but you had to go out into the shoulder.
Larry, you might as well be up. Get it over with.
Just for the minutes purposes, what, did Doris want any?
She was just making comment on the Cedar Lane meeting last night that, they had paid $7,000 worth of road upkeep on a county road themselves, so she felt like that the county shouldn't just up and give them something. Basically her comments.
Well, was that meeting last night?
Yes,
Okay, I'm sorry, I thought it was tonight.
That's fine.
no, last night.
I'm sorry, people, I mean, I did.
Yeah.
Sorry, but we didn't miss you, John.
We was gonna have it Tuesday, but it was a conflict with Patrick's schedule.
Okay, well, I apologize, fellas, because I sure thought it was tonight.
We changed it to Monday.
Well, thanks for not including me.
Well,
I'm sure my absence was noted.
No, I mean, it's, no more bad now.
Up there.
Larry, did you get a notice from Lafarge Quarry up there, the price list?
I don't know if I've got the recent one or not.
Well, you know, that was, they was about, $1.50 cheaper on a lot of that rock, but they're right up there with Shawnee. In fact, CH6, you know, it's a lot more, but the rest of it about the same.
We may have gotten one, but, and if it come the last 2 weeks,
Yeah, I mean, it really, it's not as attractive as it used to be.
yeah. And of course, we're under
Yeah, obligation.
kind of a, they're hung with their current prices until the first year with us.
Okay.
See, because they,
This may start the first year, I don't know.
they may, and when we rebid the first year, see, we get bid prices and then we accept what are low enough and what aren't.
Yeah.
Because, we can haul from their Rosiclare quarry if it's closer up in this part of the county than
That's what-
coming all the way across the county from White
See,
Hill.
I was hauling to Dixon Springs,
Yeah, but we don't, yeah,
closer.
oh yeah, much closer. But we don't get too much from them, they're just too far away.
Yeah.
Too many hard hills.
Man,
Come out of the quarry and start up a hill and come out of Gawcon and go up that big hill. Dixon
That's right.
Springs, all go up a big hill, so.
yeah. Pulls the guts out of it.
Say the dirt work's been going pretty well out there?
Decent. Wish we had a little dry dirt,
Had 1 inch of rain over the weekend.
and I don't know what that's gonna, I don't know if we're gonna get dry enough to start back up this fall or not.
Really, this fall?
Yeah, it was too wet to begin with, so I don't know this. It is surprising. Down as deep as we are, getting as wet a dirt as we are is kind of surprising to everybody.
No, wow.
Especially after that drought this summer, man.
But it's too wet. It's not, we're just right there on the borderline. I'd like it to be a little bit better, compaction in what we're getting. And we've tried little everything. We've tried all kinds of different combinations, you know, and ain't found anything to get it any better yet, so. But the bridge project is, I'm going pretty good so far.
Well, it's not gonna put out the locals that much. I mean, they can go both directions and it's not a bad
Well,
inconvenience.
it probably wasn't that heavy a used bridge to begin with when with the 6-ton weight limit. I foresee the new one being used a lot more than the old one was. Because the farmers, there'd be several farmers that have smiled when they found out that there was gonna be a new bridge there because they're restricted. They had trouble getting across it because it was a little narrower. Of course, the new one's gonna be 6 or 7 feet wider. And of course, no weight restrictions, so.
There's some big equipment across it that way.
And, you know, hey, it was out of the way, but they were having to come all the way down and fight the traffic on Country Club Road, which was not advantageous to them, so this will help out quite a bit, a few farmers. Not too many used it, but there were some. But we'll use it, I mean.
Larry Bob Wagner, you know where Elmer Wagner lived there on
Is that Staten Ridge Road?
Staten Ridge, yeah, I never can remember that. You know, Bob lives behind him on Mick English.
Okay.
It's in the corner there from Mick English and Staten Ridge. He's got there's a dead tree on the side of the right away. He said they had to come down for it, and then it fell out.
Which corner of Mick English or State Road?
Well, I get it, it had to be the northeast, going north, yeah.
so we just
Well,
always
now,
have to.
you may have got it, well, you mean.
Oh, it's been a month or two ago, at trimming trees and so on.
Yeah.
I would think if it was on the right of way, we would have taken the dead tree down, but we'll take a look at it,
Yeah,
see what we can find.
I haven't looked at it either, but he called me and told me. So.
Okay.
I was gonna ask, up on Old Marion Road, past the Loganmans and the Graces, what's that crossroad past them? Is there?
Marion and Old Marion is the
Yeah,
Marion
crossroads.
Road,
I
yeah.
was up there the other day, looks like it's an intersection, but only one stop sign.
There's two, there's
Is
one
it?
from the east and one from the north.
Okay, cause maybe one was missing or something, but it just seemed kinda odd up there to me,
One-way stop.
so, I don't know.
There, we can look,
Yeah, just
but
look.
there has been one from the east and one from the north.
Okay,
For a couple of days, there was one from the other direction and found out that somebody had put one up in a place that it wasn't supposed to.
okay. So, I don't know, it just looked odd when I was up there,
We were called, and says there was a stop sign missing.
you know.
And they says, well, we couldn't find a hole where the post was missing, but we put one back up, and then a day or so later, I got a call. Why'd you put a stop sign up there? Not supposed to be a stop sign.
Yeah.
Never has been, or at least not to my knowledge, so.
Well, if you're up that way, just kinda take a look at it.
Okay.
We're done mowing and everything for the year and all that.
Yeah, we went, back over to the county highways, one pass, because we got some rains here late, and she kind of growed up on the side of the road, so we went back over, when we got down to the road district road, so we went back over the county highways, one pass, trying to knock that down so that you had about 15 feet to see the deer coming.
Larry, I think I asked you, but I don't know what you told me. That growth deterrent, did you quit using it, or it just wasn't worth fooling with?
There's such a short window that you can apply it, and if things don't work just right,
I'm doing good.
and it's, and the other thing is one of the chemicals, I found out some things about one of the chemicals that we were using, and I just didn't like that. It just put us into, it's a chemical called Oust, and it helped prevent seed head in the grass. The grass wouldn't grow, and then the Roundup as a growth regulator prevented the grass from growing over about 8 inches tall, and the Oust prevented the seed head, which come on up. And found out kind of with a bad experience, we stunted a farmer's row to a corn. And that's when I called the company, and they says, yeah, that'll do that if it, and apparently what had happened is within about 24 hours of us applying, it was on the road bank and went down. And the farmer called and says, hey, and so I said, okay, we just won't use it anymore, and so we just kind of, we quit. It stunted a row or two of corn, and he was nice. He called us and says, yeah, what are you using? And he looked it up, and he's got one of them chemical handbooks, and he looked it up and says, yeah, that will cause stunning of corn. And so I called the company, and they said, yeah, it will. And I said, just at a quarter rounds per acre.
4 ounces.
That's all we were using.
How much is it?
Don't take
Some
much.
stout stuff.
And I said, okay, rather than take a chance on damaging crops.
Yeah.
We just kind of, and it's, like I said, it's such a short window, you got to get it in. We just didn't have enough time to get down to help us out. It will work, and people don't believe it with Roundup, but it's right on the label. 6 ounces per acre of stunted grass.
I don't want to stun it, I want it dead.
How's Miss Sladen done?
She seemed to be better this morning, but It's tough,
Mhm.
it's tough.
Takes a little time for it to really soak in like that.
I don't think she's staying at home, she's still staying with her sister. And I can kind of understand that. Just, she was doing better this morning than seemed to be than last week. One day I got to visit with her for a few minutes, got away. But it's tough.
Yeah, it'd be tough for a while. I think she's got plenty of help right now on the farm and stuff like that, from what I've noticed.
I think, yeah, Ronnie and Donnie Cook are really, and there's, I can't remember Ronnie's boy's name. And I think they've really pitched in and being very good neighbors to
I
her.
noticed they've been helping out quite a bit over there.
Being very good neighbors to her. Had to take some cattle off last week and so on. Yeah, had some cattle consigned already. So they help her fulfill that obligation.
Mm-hmm.
You have anything for us to sign today, Larry?
What's that?
He's got some stuff for us to sign, Larry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Didn't get passed off on me so quick there. Zero slid it under the radar on me.
He's fast today. He's slick today over there, isn't he?
Yeah, he slid it right in on me. Caught me over here in payroll, what he did. Well, you were stacking them up on us, Larry. It's been 2 weeks, so hadn't it?
Yeah, we only do, typically only 2 weeks. It's a kind of an oddball if I come in with one on the odd week.
Big Willie King, is he back yet? First of the year, so.
It'll be after, yeah, he was out to pick up a check this morning, and I didn't really get to talk to him. I don't know if he's in rehabilitation yet. And that's gonna be 6 to 8 weeks or longer.
Yeah.
The way we had it figured, it would be, I couldn't see any way he's gonna get back before the first of the year. I guess it's really a bad one, and they told him if it happens again, they don't think they can fix it, so they want to be very, very careful. He would be ruined for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Couldn't use it, so. He won't be careful too.
What does he do, that home place?
Yeah.
Is he still in?
Him and Pauline still in the home place.
Is that right?
Anything else, Joe?
Thank you, Larry.
Be careful out there.
Bill, you're up.
Well, hit that right on the head, didn't it?
That's perfect.
That's right.
There we go.
Oh, good morning, fellas.
County's insurance is renewing, obviously. And John, these top 2 pages are the invoices for the renewal.
Okay.
And these yellow tabs, I think, can be signed by you, Bill. It's just the values on all the cars and all the equipment for the county and all that stuff. We made some changes, but basically it came in
Good.
flat.
Okay.
So no increases. Work comp payroll was down a little bit because of the payroll, thereabout, the rates went down a bit, and then property values stayed about the same, so it's a flat renewal.
Okay.
But these 2 top are for you, John,
All
and
right.
these yellow ones have to be signed by the chairman.
Did we get any kind of refund on work back?
They just credited it back over to the property.
Okay.
And we should, I think, when they make a disbursement, we'll be able to,
No problem, it's not due to December 1.
okay, well, we'll have that.
Yeah, okay. So, you want me to separate these?
You don't matter.
Okay, the top 2 are the invoices for the renewal, and she's yellow tabbed, all of them, one that can be signed.
No problem.
Makes it easy.
I'll tell you
for
what, I can go over there and make a copy of those, and that way I'll have it, that way
It's
I
for
know.
you, we got copies.
Okay,
If Billy will just sign all those ones on yellow and give them back to me, we'll be done.
and I'll do that, and I'll get a claim for next week.
Okay.
That's pretty good so far.
How about you, Jason, you know it?
Yes, sir. How about you?
Got kids all, had a baseball team, you got all doing okay?
Oh, they're doing well, yeah.
We're growing like weeds.
We've got a basketball team going right now.
Yeah, that's good. You'll enjoy when you get.
How's the grandkids?
Great. You didn't realize it's gonna be this much fun.
Yeah. What's their ages now?
Hayden's 8, and Taylor's 4, and Kennedy's 2. It's 2, 4, and 8. So, their grandmother keeps pretty busy.
Hayden, that's the oldest one?
Yeah, I'd say there's a little boy.
Yeah. 8 years old, he's probably got a little pistol, you know, that age.
He's gonna act just like his daddy.
Does he ride a motorcycle, 4-wheelers and stuff?
Yeah, has been since he's 3. Started him off awful young. My
But
boys.
you still own the house that Andrew lived in?
Yeah, would you like it?
I like it.
I would, I'd let you have it really cheap.
Could you co-sign for me or anything?
Sure I would. I think rental property in Metropolis is becoming less attractive all the time.
Watch it now, I'm trying to sell something, don't be saying that.
You gotta sell something.
Make sure that's not public record, yeah. It's the most valuable time to buy one, isn't it? That's what we need to say.
If you add that back to you, I'll take it what I need.
Five of them look like.
These are John's.
Okay, thank you.
I'll make sure that get them all in the right spot. Anything else you guys got, need from me or want to ask, or? I think all in all, we've had a pretty good year for you. We just cleaned up quite a
Been
bit.
a safe, slow year, I think, and overall.
Yeah, but the deer hits have dropped off quite a bit, but that's going to change here in the next week or 2.
They're riled up, ain't they?
Yeah, I had 3 people call in this morning before we got in there that 2 got hit behind the passenger door, didn't even know what hit them. Got deer hair all in the car, so they're running pretty hot and heavy.
Yeah, right now they're running hard, that's for sure. They come from nowhere and hit you too.
Yep. That's what I needed, Stone. I wish I could say I could help you cut your insurance in half, but unfortunately, all the stuff that you own, there's no way to do it. Insurance companies are all losing a lot of money in Southern Illinois. Not just countywide, just statewide, because of these hailstorms and this ice storm and all the stuff we've had last 10 years. So I'm really holding my breath on this one here, thinking that, we might we don't need a rate increase, but we're probably gonna go up, but we stayed exactly just about within a couple of dollars of last year, so we're pretty happy with that.
We've had some major disasters here in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
Major disasters.
Yep. And that all gotta come from somewhere.
I think they've just been eye openers too.
The one out east has really been an eye-opener, especially for
That's an earthquake territory. Well, I'll get all you guys here, I thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Sorry it took me so long, it takes a lot of work.
We'll get that to you before the first.
Just let me know, I'll be glad to help you.
All right.
Thanks.
Appreciate it, Bill.
Yep.
Thank
Come
you.
back, man.
Yep, goodbye.